Greetings, comrades! This is me, Caleb, back with another retro game video. We're back in the Sega Genesis, and you recognize this music? This is Firepower 2000 again, but it's actually known as Mega SWIV on the Genesis. Because I remember correctly, this I think this only came out in Europe, because I only know of Firepower 2000 on the Super Nintendo. So the intro is pretty similar. The music's kind of faster, and it has like the Genesis feel to it. Yeah, the intro is pretty much the same. Yeah, I'm curious how this compares to the Super Nintendo version, which is what I grew up with. Let's see. So like just like with Firepower 2000 on the Super Nintendo, you can choose between the helicopter or the Jeep. And if you haven't seen it, I'll have a link to it on the corner right there. That's my first retro game video, actually. I got the button configuration, which, okay, so Y is A, B is B, and C switches to what? C is A, I guess. And let's see, yeah, I think I'll do, I'm not probably going to use C that much. Yeah, the music's, has that Genesis feel to it. And as you know, I like playing the helicopter, because it plays a traditional shmup. Oh, wait, oh, it sounds kind of crunchy. And the level's a lot different than in a Firepower 2000. You know, this takes place in a ruined city, whereas with, I guess I'm crushing him. Yeah, it takes place like, the Super Nintendo takes place in like a village. And then you walk, when you transition to a desert. We got some different, just like where you can pick up special weapons, like missiles, homing missiles, bombs and stuff. And of course you can switch between different weapons. I mean, other than that, it plays the same, which isn't a bad thing. It's the same game, just on a different platform, but it definitely looks different. And it's not just because it's the Genesis version. Like using the plasma. Hit multiple targets. Yeah, this level one's a lot different than the Super Nintendo level 1. Here's what the boss is like. Yeah, I kind of heard of this version, never played it because never had a Genesis. Yeah, sound effects are a little crunchier compared to the Super Nintendo version. I don't know how What was that? Okay, I don't remember that. No. Oh my god. I'll just put that. Of course I'm on the bottom. I have no experience with this version, so bear with me. Let's try this again. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I prefer the Super Nintendo version's music and sound effects. But you know, the Genesis and Super Nintendo both had different sound chips, so it makes sense that they sound and look different. Okay. Let's see if we can, switch it. Let's stick with this for now. Yeah, in my opinion, the Super Nintendo version is better. Like, it looks a little cleaner, it sounds better. But they both play the same. I'm guessing I keep forgetting about my... I almost never use my special weapons. I really need to do that. That's what they're for. So I'm gonna use some plasma here. I like using the plasma. Of course, if you die with your equipped weapon, it loses a it downgrades. I like how those firewalls automatically aim at you. Like they know where you are, so let's just shield here. I guess just like the other game, if you shoot it enough, it'll blow up and clear the screen. Yeah, it's kind of my best weapon right now. I got a different kind of boss here. Yeah, it's definitely different than the Stage 1 boss in Firepower. Oh, okay, I see it, dude. Okay. Kind of interesting how it's not a one-on-one comparison with the Firepower 2000. At least if I want to see the... Okay, this is level 1 of Firepower 2000. Okay, how's I supposed to know there are enemies coming that way? Yeah, I'm not too big on the music of this version. You know, I prefer the... You gotta remember, I played the Super Nintendo version. And only the Super Nintendo version. Like, it sounded better in my opinion. And it looked a little better too. But again, they play the same, so I guess it's just a matter of preference. What the... Like I said, it plays just like Firepower 2000. You get upgradable weapons, you get like special weapons like missiles and bombs and stuff. which I don't use enough. Well, I keep dying so much. But I promise you, I'm better at this game. It just takes me a while to get back into it. Well, at least the Super Nintendo version I'm better at. This version, maybe I spend a little more time and I might warm up to it, but you could say it's just me growing up with the Super Nintendo version and not having enough exposure to the... Yeah, those Blackbirds are a lot smaller than I remember. Like I say, you get... It's just me growing up with the Super Nintendo version and having no exposure to the Genesis version, so... It's still a good game. It's just, again, I prefer the Super Nintendo version. Maybe because that's the one I grew up with. Alright. Oh, goodness. It's weird how level 2 in this version was level 1 in the Super Nintendo version. I see it plays a bit more, so I have a little more knowledge about it. I mean, gameplay-wise, it's the same. Level-wise, it's definitely a different beast. See all this here? These were like egg buildings or whatever. This is level 1 of Firepower 2000. I don't know, if you have both the Genesis and Super Nintendo, you had to choose between the two, I say stick with Firepower 2000, the Super Nintendo version. Take a shot every time I say Firepower 2000. Actually don't, you might throw up dialysis. Let's at least get to the second boss. And yeah, those cannons don't make sounds either. Like, usually like you hear like laser sound effect when they shoot. Not here. But again, this Genesis and Super Nintendo, there's bound to be differences between the two. And it's definitely evident here. It said level 1 in this version. Well, level 1 in the Super Nintendo version is level 2 in this version, so yeah. Yes, those don't like sounds either. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is the level 1 boss I remember, even though this is level 2. No sound effects here, too. It's so weird that it sounds different. Ah, fuck. Oh, you don't remember that part of this boss. There we go. Yeah, it just sounds so crunchy compared to the Super Nintendo version. Okay. So this is level 2 of the Super Nintendo. But anyway, yeah, this is Mega SWIV for the Genesis. Again, still a good game, but I prefer the Super Nintendo version. Just personal preference. If you like this version, good for you. Anyway, this is Caleb signing out. Have a good day.